So you said in 2020
Yep.
you were doing movie reviews on YouTube.
Yes.
Was it a hit?
No. No, it was for me. I had a great time doing it. I mean, I got up to like 80 subscribers, so it's not
that's pretty good.
terrible. Over about 8 or 9 months. So
How many reviews did you do? Do you know?
God, I was aiming to do one a week, so I didn't always hit that, but that's what my aim was. Yeah, so I was trying to do one video a week, which was exhausting because it's like the videos were anywhere between 15 minutes and like an hour long. So not only is there the whole recording time, but there's obviously the watching the movie, there's the writing down my thoughts and my notes. There's the recording, and then there's the editing afterwards, which I am not good at, so it always took for fucking ever.
There's the whole package that comes with it.
Oh, truly, truly. So I learned a lot about video and video editing really, really quickly, which ended up being really good for this space.
Yeah, useful.
But that's why I never continued on is, after, at the end of it, God, when did I graduate uni? Was that 2021 or 2020? I think it was 2020, midway through 2020. Yeah, so I just graduated.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to start a business. So it just, it kind of just fell off the priority list a little bit.
Yeah. That's the other thing as well is like there's so much that goes into it, like the video, the editing and everything like that.
Yep.
So you sort of started and you're like, this is my goal. And then as you went through, you just sort of had to adapt. Is that right? Like you sort of be like, okay, this is not achievable. I'm working as hard as I can on it. Yeah. But I just need to slow down, do what I can because otherwise would it feel like it gets to a point where it wouldn't be enjoyable?
Oh, for sure. And I'm a pretty self-aware person. So I can pretty easily and quickly see the signs of being like, okay, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And then the difference between that and being like, I genuinely do not have time for this. I'm not just being like, I can't be bothered this week. It's like, no, I can't. Because it would usually take my whole weekend, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I cherish. Used to when I had one.
Back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Okay, well, to finish off, I want to get your advice and for everyone else as well. If someone wants to start their own business, whether it be from home, opening up something, what is your advice to that person, young, old?
Well, we actually touched a little bit on this before, and I'm really sorry. I'm going to be a downer, kind of. I'll try and be uplifting at the end, but it's a lot of time and it's a lot of effort, and it is really, really alienating. Not even in just, that you don't have time to go out with friends or whatever, but people just don't understand unless they've done it themselves. They just do not get the stress of it and the time that you put in. When I say to people that I work 7 days a week, they're like, why? And I'm like, because I have no other fucking choice. Like, I need to pay my fucking bills. And they just don't. There's just the large majority of people just don't understand it. Which means it's really, really lonely. It's really lonely. So that's and I did not appreciate just how lonely it was going to be. My parents tried really hard to warn me not to do it. Mm-hmm. They were like, look, you're just a bit young. Maybe just get like a job, kind of build a little bit more of a security blanket before you go into this. Yeah. And I was so stubborn. I was like, I can do it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did you was there moments where you came back and you're like, because when you're thinking of ideas, when you're thinking of businesses and stuff like that, there's so much work into it that sometimes we can go like ride your highs. We're like, I've thought of amazing ideas. Yeah. I'm really happy. And then there's moments where you come back down a bit. Yeah. How did you handle all of the, doubting moments, I suppose, where your parents would say something or people say something to you and you're like, that's actually a good point. Thanks for bringing me back down to earth.
Well, beforehand, I had very little of those. I was like, no one can bring me back down to earth. I am doing this. I think that was a little bit because I was like, I don't know what I would do instead. This was the only thing that I was like, I feel like this is a good idea and it will be time well spent for me and I could be really happy doing this. And there was literally nothing else that I felt that way about. And now the answer is I just have to, it's just there is no other choice. It is either pay my rent or not pay my rent, you know?
And particularly when everything's on the line for you and you've everything. But I suppose even like now when it can be tough and stuff like that, because, you know, business opened up during COVID still and everything like that, which can be, you know, a lot. It has been a lot for a lot of businesses. What's sort of been one thing that really has just kept you going through it all? Obviously, like, you have to pay the rent, you have to do all that, but there's a silver lining underneath as to why you do it. And what do you think that is for you?
For me, the thing that I always tell myself is that I'm trying to build the life that I want. So I grew up fairly comfortable. We went to college, like you have to, you know. We're similar backgrounds. And so that's like there's a level of comfortability that I want to maintain throughout my life. And as I said, not knowing what I wanted to do before, like it's highly likely that I just would have ended up in hospitality for like 5 fucking years, looked back and been like, really? Has it been that long? And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I actually really liked working in hospitality, but it's not going to get me to where I kind of envision myself. In terms of my personal goals of like, I want to own a house and I want to have nice things.
You're sort of just going with the flow and you experience different things. I think that's the big part, is that you're putting yourself in different experiences.
Yes.
You know, the gap year, uni, hospitality. Same with me, tried a few different things. Never told myself, even when I was at uni, I was like, I don't like marketing. I'm not going to use this ever. Eventually ended up loving it. And same with real estate. I was like, Dad, I'm never going to real estate. I have no interest. And then here I am now as well.
You've just got to, I don't know, you just got to be open to it. Go where life takes you. I don't know. I mean, it's a struggle, obviously, being here, working so many days a week. I don't take a salary either, so I have no spending money. So it's all, but the way I see it is it's all like short-term sacrifice. You know, I'm in it for short-term pain, but a long-term gain, whether that is I sell the business in 2 years or it's I do open more locations. You know, I feel like I've just got to keep in mind that I'm working towards something which is not the same thing that the other people my age are working towards, but is going to be really good in the long term.
Well, that's the whole part of the business, right? Is when you do go out on your own and you're trying to start something and like it's very much like put in the hard yards. It's sort of like Gary Vee in America explains it really well. He's like, you have to work fast, you have to work really hard, and really not expect anything for a long time. Like, you can't have any expectation with it. But if you're passionate about it, it'll drive you through. Which is great. And I think for a lot of us, like, it's important to understand that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I don't know. You hear all the statistics about only like 1% of small businesses make it past 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And you always are like, I'm going to be part of the 1%. But I don't know. I wish that I'd been more realistic about it before I started. And not even in a bad way. Not in a good way, but not in a bad way. I just wish I'd thought more about it.
Yeah.
In saying that I would still have made the same choice. I know I would have. I know me. I know how stubborn I am.
You wouldn't change it for the world.
No, I wouldn't.
I think it's awesome that you had an idea, you put it into practice, like you actually got out there, gave it a shot. I think it's going to pay you absolute dividends in the long run as well. And also, even just watching from afar, like I started MacArthur Marketing after this. And that was also an inspiring part about it, being like, you know, she's given it a crack, she's out there doing it. And people are using it, it's fun. And like, even the reality is, even if it never works or it like turns out like you gave it a crack.
Yes.
You gave it a crack, it's not going to haunt you. You'll be like, eventually you're reflecting like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that.
Yeah, but for sure. In 10 years, I know I'm going to look back and be like, wow, 23-year-old Maddie had fucking balls. Like, she really opened a whole house business? What? You know, so 100%. I won't regret it in the long term for sure.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, look, thank you so much for being on the podcast as well.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you.
It's been great. I thank you for all the rescheduling and everything like that.
Don't even stress.
As we were meant to do it when it was the floods hit.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You've got to be flexible in these times. You just have to.
100%. But yeah, thank you so much. I think you're doing great work. I think it's awesome.
So are you. I'm excited to see where you go as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's going to be exciting.
Should be fun. I'll be here as much as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harness Creation Studio, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Maddie, you have a great story so far, and it's just going to keep going. So,
thank you. Thank you.
Good. Thanks,
wow.
Mads.
Thanks for having me. Bye.